it's very, very easy to get wrapped up into, wanting that instantaneous stardom, especially now when we live in an Instagram or a Twitter or a Vine, back when Vine was Vine. We have that mentality where everything needs to be instant gratification. If I want to be successful, I need to be successful tomorrow. For trainers, when you're building yourself, when you're building a brand or building your image and coming up in this industry, you have to understand that it's gradual success. Like, you have to break away at these milestones. You have to make sure that you're building relationships that are going to help build your business, later on. And relationships, especially within this industry, aren't something that are just immediately built overnight. If you are knowledgeable on how to, speak and how to eloquently communicate with your clients and how to engage with your customers, that's when you can start really separating yourself and start learning that it's these gradual successes, it's the little successes that happen on a month-to-month basis that are going to set you up for that inevitable success and fame later on. And especially from like an Instagram, fame setting, like, that's not something that happened overnight for me. Like, that was something that it was consistent work. Especially with social media, social media is like meals. Every single day when you wake up, you have to eat in order to sustain life. Well, for social media, especially for Instagram, you have to have your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner posts, and then some snacks, sprinkled in, around, throughout your social calendar. In order to succeed, you first have to fail. You have to put yourself into circumstances where you can fail. There we go, it's all right. Like that. I want to leave a mark, not just as somebody who's doing something correct, but somebody who's giving players the fast track to that success. So doubt starts crowding our judgment, and the fear of failure is probably one of the biggest, problems, or one of the biggest crushes to trainers in this industry. So I would say embrace, those failures. Embrace the struggle of saying, hey, look, I'm not, I might not be a good trainer now, or, the second you start doubting yourself and starting to hold everything internally, is the second you're going to lose focus on what this beginning stages of your training career is meant for. They're meant for failures. They're meant for, learning, our growth opportunities and growing from those things that we're finding ourselves in. And that's where I would say, and as part of our Trainer's Guide to Success, have a core unit of trainers that you look up to. Like, for me, it was like 4 trainers that I really thought were doing a phenomenal job. And if I ever was doing something where I didn't think that I was, really, being efficient for my clients, or I thought that, I was kind of stuck in a rut, I would reach out to them and I would communicate with them. I let them know, be brutally honest, like, hey, I don't think I'm doing a really good job as of late, teaching this mechanic, or I'm starting to doubt myself, in this. And that's where you start you get ideas bounced back off of you, and you start getting those critiques, and you start getting those things that, you need to survive, because that's where our gratification will come from, is our colleagues, and this goes back, that fear of failure goes back to, us having this pride issue, where we think that every other trainer in this industry is out for our clientele, and they're not willing to help us throughout this process. That is a big farce. Like, that is the biggest farce of this community. But to see me actually present myself in front of them, talk to them, communicate with them, and let them know what I'm all about and how much I would be willing to help, I started establishing a relationship right there as soon as I engaged in the conversation. So when I was first starting off, I would be in 50 gyms, throughout the course of a month. That's a huge testament to, first and foremost, your desire to grow as a trainer, understand that it's about the transformation, not about the transaction. Second, you're going to put yourself out there and offering a high dime service, and you can, you market this as such, but offering a high dime service potentially for free. I would say go into it and for your first couple and just offer free offer free sessions if you don't feel 100% confident in who you are as a trainer when training larger groups.
How do you go from working 9 to 5, I guess doing something you don't love, to being a basketball trainer? That's your goal, that's your dream.
So I went from a 9 to 5 desk job. I had a couple of clients that I was training after work. And then once those couple of clients kind of continued to grow, and I didn't really have much time to fit in between 5 and 9 p.m., then I started taking some hours away from my desk job. And once again, kept building my client list, building my rapport with the people in the area, with company, different AAU organizations and different clients in the area. And it became a little bit easier of a transition. It was easier of a transition for me. For somebody who doesn't have that flexibility, you have to start getting really creative. So your desk job, maybe 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and it doesn't allow you to take, time off or hours off each day. So you have to get creative and really efficient with the 5 to 9 p.m. that you have during the week, and especially your weekends. Saturdays were my hell days. Like I was literally on the court outside, outdoor gym or outdoor court from like 7 a.m. to like 5 p.m. straight, just running sessions. And that was the most lucrative time because, I didn't have to go into work in the morning. All the kids had off. A lot of them didn't have AAU games. And I pick and choose between Saturdays and Sundays and being able to get on the court with these clients. So that's a huge thing. Being able to maximize your time during the weekends is extremely important. But understanding that you keep your books, you keep your accounting keep your accounting on a string, because you do not want to have make that jump and then be like, oh crap, I only have 2 clients and I have to cover $4,000 a month or $2,000 a month in overhead and expenses. That's when you're going to start running into problems. So understanding how to become fiscally responsible and to manage your clientele, your resources, and your time are extremely important keys to making that transition as smooth as possible.
Awesome.
So everybody on our program can have instant access to me at any time. You can write me a message, write me a comment on one of our posts, and I get back to you guys with answering any questions. So it's such an easily accessible thing, especially in this climate, especially when you're trying to build your business. Like we talked about within this Q&A, is you guys need to have that camaraderie, that impact from somebody that you look up to, or somebody that you look at as being a pioneer in this industry. And if you are ever doubting yourself, or if you are ever struggling with certain areas, having somebody like myself, for instance, as a trainer, is so crucial to be able to bounce ideas off of and to be able to ask for guidance. And there's no shame in it. So being able to say, hey, look, I'm going to stuff my pride in the sack and really go out there and make myself as vulnerable and transparent as possible is so important for you guys to start off with on your trainers, on your guide, and your journey to success. And it goes for even those trainers that are a little bit more established than others. There is no shame in asking others for guidance and help and different concepts to learn and develop and grow, because we are constantly growing and evolving and developing just as the game is. And as trainers, you have to make sure that you're staying consistent with that evolution. You have to make sure you're being consistent with the way you teach and the different methods and technologies that you use throughout your training sessions, so that way you can become an elite trainer, one that's reputable and one that is staying up with the curve and up with the transition of this game. And everything that we do offer, whether it be from our 30-day transformation, which is doing a phenomenal job right now, to our daily sessions, to our Trainer's Guide to Success, to our in-person internships that we host year-round. Everything that we go over, everything that we offer is strictly to get you guys where you want to be. I've had 3 guys, 3 trainers directly underneath me that I've helped go from literally having their overhead consume their lives to now making 6 figures in just over the course of a year and a half. And that's a huge testament. I want to give as much as possible. I want to let you guys succeed on a quicker, efficient route than I did. And it took me to do, and not make the same mistakes that I made along the way, or at least be able to, make those mistakes and then realize immediately how to adjust, how to adapt, and how to overcome.